6 members of Congress just told troops on social media to refuse illegal orders. The crazy part is, it's not just coming from Congress. Take a look at this clip.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army.
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
You saw 6 members of Congress telling troops to refuse illegal orders, all with military and intelligence backgrounds. Let's be very clear. Troops have always been taught to refuse illegal orders. That's not new. But what's new here is it coming from 6 members of Congress via social media to troops, not from their chain of command. I would call this unprecedented. This isn't business as usual, where politicians argue with each other. This is a coordinated effort by members of Congress. In the next clip, it's not just Congress. It gets even worse, and you got huge influencers doing the same thing. Stand by. The Feds just dropped interest rates again, which is great news for the American homeowner. If you're feeling overwhelmed about the holidays, there's no better time than ever to get your finances in order. It's hard to get fired up about the holidays when you get your credit cards maxed out. And with rates dropping, now is the time to pay off that crippling credit card debt. American Financing is helping homeowners get access to equity in home for instant savings. And many people are seeing rates in low 5, which is a game changer compared to that crazy high credit card interest. And if you start today, you may be able to defer 2 mortgage payments to give you some breathing room during the holidays. Holidays will be here before you know it. So call American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants at 866-855-1332. That's 866-855-1332. Or visit americanfinancing.net/Jamesons.
Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever. And these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers. And I would have said a few weeks ago that Trump would never do that to you. And things are going nuclear. So I don't have that confidence anymore. And I'm comfortable with people being dishonorably discharged.
So now you've got the biggest podcaster in the world, Candace Owens, telling young people who watch her program to get a dishonorable discharge. So it's, if you don't like the order, just refuse the order, same thing as the Congress is saying, and get kicked out of the military. I don't know that the troops have the ability to be a constitutional attorney, do they? Let me be very clear. They don't have the wherewithal to determine what's an illegal order or not a legal order most of the time. So they're going to have to be sifting through that. They have to consult a JAG attorney every time they want to determine if they're going to follow an order or not. Is that where we're going? So we've got the Congress members. We've got Candace Owens, the biggest podcast in the world right now. And then we got Captain Mark Kelly, retired naval aviator, astronaut, coming out saying the same thing.
CBS reporting indicates that the commander who was running Southern Command, Admiral Alvin Halsey, was pressured to leave his command post early, just a year into a 4-year post, and that there were tensions with Secretary Hegseth that were leading up to that departure, which Hegseth characterized as just a retirement. You speak to the top officers. Can they, with confidence, refuse unlawful orders without fear of retribution or even losing their pensions?
Well, I don't know about losing their pension. They should. This is more important than any single person. This is about our democracy at this point. And those admirals and generals, they need to speak truth to power. I've had conversations with the most senior members of our military about this specific thing. They cannot be breaking the law. Doesn't matter if the president or the secretary of defense tells them to do something. If it's against the law, they have to say no. They're not required to follow an unlawful order. So we expect that from them. I don't know the exact circumstances why the admiral quit. He hasn't said publicly yet. I expect in time we're going to find out more.
But you think he did quit? It wasn't just a retirement suddenly.
I don't know. They could have forced him out. He could have quit. He could have said, hey, you're not accepting my advice. You need somebody else in here. I don't know. I hate to speculate.
The military has a system for dealing with unlawful orders. It doesn't come from Congress or influencers or social media. The danger I see for young troops is they don't have clarity, the messaging. Some think, oh, I can just defy an order if I think it's unlawful, when they don't know how this works. So it's being messaged to the wrong people on social media. So I saw what Senator Kelly was saying there, and I'm hunting around. Is there anybody who's saying, hey, troops in government, maybe slow down? Maybe take a look at what's going on. I'll bring you this last clip. Not a huge fan of the guy, but the guy's got a lot of experience as a JAG attorney.
You've got United States senators and members of the House suggesting to our men and women in the military that they should be disobeying unlawful orders issued by President Trump and his military. I was a military lawyer for 33 years. I was a prosecutor, defense attorney, and a military judge. And if you're listening to this program tonight, I find no evidence that President Trump or anyone in your chain of command has issued an unlawful order to you. To the people who made these accusations, I'm going to write you a letter tomorrow, and I want you to tell the country what orders you think are unlawful. What did President Trump do wrong as Commander-in-Chief? You owe that to the men and women of the military to be specific about what you're talking about. If you're in the military, you need to follow the lawful orders of your commanders. And Article 92, check it out. So what these senators and House members did was unnerving, and it was unconscionable to suggest that the President of the United States is issuing unlawful orders without giving an example. The hatred of Trump cannot spill over to putting our men and women in the military in jeopardy. You're going too far.
That is chilling.
The order in question.
They can't.
Well, they
can't.
should, because they're suggesting they exist. They're suggesting that men and women in the military, you should disobey unlawful orders. Tell me an example of an unlawful order that exists under the Trump administration. I want to see what you're talking about, and I'll give you my opinion.
Well,
the reason they didn't say anything is because there is none.
No matter how you feel about Senator Graham, the reality is this: when you got 6 members of Congress telling troops to defy an order, it'd be nice if, what are we talking about? And they could speak to the troops in such a way that you realize you're not going to be able to ascertain, is it lawful, is it unlawful? It seems like it's not the best idea for the young men and women that are doing this job, because they're the ones that are going to end up in trouble. How are the troops able to make that determination? That's what I'm worried about. These young people who are just listening to social media stars and politicians, not able to grasp what is a lawful order, what's not a lawful order, and then hesitation. This can't continue. This is not a picture of good order and discipline.